Okay, welcome back to part 3. Now, on the 17th of February 2011, the full article regarding Silene and her daughter's disconnection, hit the World Wide Web, called Losing My New Religion, an article all about cults. And the part I'm going to read out now, so this is part of the whole thing on cults, but this is the part on Scientology and Silene, in case people have not read it. Okay. Also active in Britain is the Church of Scientology, founded by L. Ron Hubbard in New Jersey in 1952, which boasts many high-profile members in Hollywood, including Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes and John Travolta. The Church of Scientology denies it is a cult, and Scientology is recognised as a religion in a number of countries, including America, but not Britain. Is Scientology a cult? Asked the organisation's website. No, it's a religion in the fullest sense of the word. There are many controversial aspects in Scientology, but least its beliefs that humans are descended from a race exiled from another planet in the distant past. There is also the issue of disconnection, a term used by Scientologists to describe the withdrawal of contact with friends and family who, in the words of the website, are suppressive or who are antagonistic to Scientology or its tenets. The website continues, in order to resolve this situation, one either handles the other person's antagonism with true data about Scientology and the Church, or at last resort, when all attempts to handle have failed, one disconnects from or stops communicating with the person. Opponents of Scientology argue that disconnection is a sinister instrument employed to drive a wedge between members of the organisation and their families. The Church of Scientology rejects these claims. Now we talk about Silene. Silene looks like a well-heeled middle-aged lady in the leafy English suburb where we meet for coffee. Speaking with a lyrical Brazilian accent, she tells me about her intelligent daughter Natalie and their once loving relationship. Natalie was so close to both me and my husband, and we often got together as a family. She says Natalie spent much of her 20s teaching English abroad before moving back home aged 27 and taking a job in the city. Silene was alarmed to find books on Scientology in Natalie's room. I asked her if she was involved, and she said she would never be involved with Scientology, as she didn't believe in it. Yet during 2009, Natalie became distant. It was as though she was carrying a terrible burden about with her, says Silene. She became serious and tense. By the end of last year, Natalie moved out to live with other Scientologists and started seeing Anton, whose stepfather, John, sister and mother are all involved with Scientology. Relations with Natalie became strained, and at Christmas that year she tipped a table of food over her parents when Scientology came up in conversation. It was so unlike our daughter, like she'd been taken over. Last April, Silene and her husband met Anton's family for lunch, unaware of the extent of their involvement with Scientology. Soon afterwards, John arrived uninvited at Silene's house. He shouted that if I didn't accept Scientology, Natalie would disconnect. Shortly afterwards, Natalie stopped communicating with Silene. The organisation is generally extremely uncommunicative with families who contact them for information about relatives who have joined. Many parents whose children are members report a wall of silence, with letters, emails and phone calls all going unanswered. But when I contacted it to ask about Natalie, someone responded immediately, telling me that Natalie had issues with her mother that go back well before she became a Scientologist. She decided earlier this year to let matters cool off for a period, but she did not disconnect from her. She had been in good communication lately with her mother and is hopeful that they will have good family relations going forward. Shortly afterwards, Natalie called Silene and has seen her, although they cannot talk about Scientology. Silene says, "I have only seen Natalie a couple of times and we don't mention it, as it causes huge fights. And I will go on fighting for as long as it takes to get her out." Okay. We'll just finish on that a second. Okay, moving on. On the 19th of February 2011, Silene receives a letter from the cult of Scientology, dated the 15th of February. Now, this is the first ever letter Silene has ever received from this organisation, from this cult. And the letter reads, "Dear Silene, I am writing to you in regards to your daughter, Natalie, and to acknowledge your various letters. I apologise that it's taken so long for you to hear from me. I understand from Natalie that she has been in touch with you over the last few months, which I was very pleased to hear. If you have any remaining reasons for concern, please do feel free. Write to me at the address on this letterhead and I will reply back to you straight away. You can also email me at gwilson@scientology.org.uk. Yours sincerely, Graham Wilson." Can you say to that? "I'm writing to you in regards to your daughter Natalie and to acknowledge your various letters." He's acknowledging he's received them, but he hasn't replied to them. Okay. Now, on the 20th of February 2011, the full article went out on hard copy in the Sunday Telegraph in an insert called Stella, page 43. And that is the insert that went in the paper with the full story that I've read out previously. Now, Selene's just been in touch with me this morning and she's asked me if I'd add these to the video. Now, this is a letter from the Church of Scientology, fax copy over. It says, and it's to her MP, Mrs. Justine Greening, MP, House of Commons, London. "Dear Miss Greening, Miss Silene," and the surname. "Thank you for your letter of the 22nd of November 2010, and my apologies that it's taken so long to reply. I spoke to Natalie in mid-November, just before you wrote your letter, as I had heard that there was some sort of situation with her mother. She told me that she had issues with her mother, which went back well before she became a Scientologist. She decided earlier in 2010 to let matters cool off for a period, but she did not disconnect from her. She has now been in good communication with her mother since around the time I spoke to her, and is hopeful that they will have good family relations all the way into the future. Since receiving your letter, I spoke to Natalie again, and she told me relations have continued to improve. She also told me she would be happy to speak to you, if you would like to speak to her directly. I have also written to Natalie's mother to let her know she can contact me if she has any further concerns. Yours sincerely, Graham Wilson. I don't know who the hell he thinks he is. He's not part of this family at all. Just the same how he was interfering with my daughter when it came to a Radio 2 broadcast we did. He didn't want to know till then. It's only when you contact the media. I don't need to say that any more on that one, do I? Okay, and we've got here a letter from Silene's MP. Okay, please find enclosed the letter from the Church of Scientology in response to your concerns about your daughter. The letter states that the Church has spoken with Natalie to discuss this matter, and that Natalie has been in contact with you since this. As a result, your family relations are improving. I do hope this matter has now been resolved, but if you do have any further concerns you would like me to follow up, please do let me know. Justin Screening MP. So, there we go. Silene has now put her letter of reply together. I'm not sure when it's going out, but very shortly. To be sent to Mr. Graham Wilson, Head of Communications, St Hill. And the thing is, will Silene get a reply? Her dilemma is, does she wait another 5 months or longer for a reply? Or should she just speed things up? She could basically go to the TV networks, the radio. Things happen then, don't they? But we'll see what happens, because the cult certainly doesn't like the media. Anyway, to date, Natalie has been in contact with her mum and family. Silene's absolutely over the moon. And these are some words I'm just reading out here, which she said to me. It's no thanks to the cult of Scientology, as it was their damaging mind-controlling policies that disconnected them in the first place. Silene has not stopped her fight and now wishes to help others. Well done, Silene. And well done to Natalie for making contact with your mum. None of this would have happened if you're a victim, Natalie. If you listen to this video, watch this video, you're a victim, just like your boyfriend Anton, like many others. I mean, I've got to say, even Graham Wilson's a victim of all this. It's a mind-controlling cult. It's destroying families all over the world. It nearly destroyed mine. It's wrecked your mother's life. And all I can say is, read, make your own mind up, go on the internet, speak to ex-Scientologists. It is an evil cult, this. It really, really is. It's taken everybody's time to try and get through to victims. I still talk to my daughter about it, and she's in an awful situation because her future husband is in this cult. Anyway, this is not about me, as I said before. It's about families all over the world. Your mum loves you to bits, and your dad does as well, of course. You know there's been no family issues, only when you got involved in this cult. And no one's shouting at you and knocking you. It's an unfortunate thing, and I hope and pray that you can build on this now, and good luck for your life, the rest of your life. Okay, God bless then, Natalie, and God bless Silene. Thank you, bye-bye.